Young Jeff Matthews had a good idea what his dream future would look like when he graduated from Atlanta's Oglethorpe University in the early 1970s.
I wanted to do something international, and I wanted the opportunity to fly internationally.
He also knew that when you worked for an airline, hugely discounted tickets were among the perks. He accepted a job with Eastern Airlines and hoped eventually to make it to senior management.
Well, that didn't work out. Within a year, I was laid off and had just gotten married in '73, and 6 months later was laid off, and then within 6 months, I went to work for Marvin Walker & Associates.
Walker was a large stone importing firm. The 24-year-old Matthews, who had majored in math and physics, began working in business development and purchasing. In a way, working with stone reconnected the Washington, D.C. native with one of the joys of being a youngster in a military family. His father was an Air Force pilot, and the family had lived for several years in France and locations in the United States.
Well, when I was growing up, one of the things I enjoyed doing at a very young age was rock collecting, and I loved collecting rocks and identifying minerals. I did it for a few years, but then we kept moving around, and my parents didn't want to move the rocks, so I stopped.
From the moment he arrived at Walker, he was consumed about learning all he could about stone and the business.
And I said, well, how do I learn all there is to know about stone? I went to the libraries. I went everywhere at universities trying to find information on stone. It was almost impossible. We didn't have the computers in those days or the internet.
A month later, he told Marvin Walker that the only way he was going to learn was to travel.
I said, first I want to travel in the United States and go visit producers and quarriers. Then I want to travel over to Italy, to the office, go to quarries, go to factories, spend a month. Then I want to go to Spain, and I want to go to Portugal, and I want to go to other countries. In 1976, I was one of the first person to ever travel in China. The only people that were there was Goodyear and Coca-Cola back then. And then I went to Romania, then I went to Korea and the Philippines and Taiwan.
And that's how Jeff Matthews eventually achieved his dream of traveling internationally, on his way to becoming one of the world's leading experts on dimension stone. By his own figures, Matthews says he has visited over 30 countries, more than 300 quarries, and has inspected more than 400 factories worldwide, and racked up a lot of frequent flyer miles. In 1979, he once again turned his attention to the U.S.
And I finally said, well, I need to do something domestically here. I'm not doing enough to do my share domestically of what I need to do to learn. So I said, I want to join the Marble Institute of America, and that was 1979. And I was like the 28th member.
Matthews said that the MIA provided a great platform to get involved and contribute to help make the stone industry better.
But I enjoyed it. I liked it. I spoke up. I got involved. I asked questions, which was the key issue of getting involved. I wanted to learn, and I wanted to participate. And I'd show up at the board meetings, whether I was invited or not, just to ask questions and see what they were about.
In 1985, at the age of 37, Jeff Matthews was elected MIA's youngest president and worked with other leaders to make the association more relevant. In 1986, Matthews started his own consulting firm called Trade International Incorporated. The company's focus was to consult, market, write, and study all industry issues of stone sourcing, quarrying, fabricating, sales, quality control, testing, and other issues relating to every facet of the business. 28 years after starting the firm, Matthews is still as enthusiastic about the stone business as ever. And he's still learning and passionate about passing on the information to others.
I like education, and I like to teach. I like to help people. And I'm glad to help anybody who wants to learn. And I think that's important. I think we all need to do that. I think we all need to share our knowledge and give back to the industry. Have I made a fortune? No, I never planned to be a millionaire, and sure enough, I've lived up to my plans. I figure I've still got another 20 years to give back to the stone industry.
Jeff Matthews has a legion of admirers around the world. These include David Carnevale of Carnevale & Lohr Incorporated of Bell Gardens, California. Carnevale called Matthews a valuable asset to our industry and nominated him for the 2014 Migliore Award for Lifetime Achievement. Carnevale says, his involvement in promoting our industry and our organization, the Marble Institute of America, coupled with his years of experience and expertise in our industry, makes him the best candidate for this prestigious honor. Brian Frankovus of Valder's Stone had this to say: "He has always been a true professional and goes above and beyond even when there was nothing in it for him." Being a recipient of the Migliore Award has a special meaning for Jeff Matthews. He collaborated with Vince Migliore on numerous occasions.
So I was close with Vince from many standpoints. We understood each other. I liked Vince. He was a good person. So it's an honor for me to have an award that is mentioned after his name.
The Marble Institute of America is pleased and proud to present the 2014 Migliore Award for Lifetime Achievement to Jeffrey Matthews.